Hey, how's everybody doing? And I wanted to put this together just because I know a lot of times people cannot make the nutrition classes. So I want to go over what I go over in the nutrition class, which is super important for everybody to know so you guys can work on building and growing your healthy lifestyle. So anyway, let me get into it. I'm going to share my screen here. Oh, this is cool. This little program's cool here. Okay. Bring this up. Okay, so this is reset, refocus, which generally whenever you're going into a nutrition plan is going to be one of the keys here, but making sure that you're focused and just really committed to it, because a lot of times, as you know, I'm sure almost everybody knows this, it's really hard staying focused and committed when you're doing these nutrition. So when you're doing the nutrition and then just sticking to it. Working on breaking all kinds of old patterns and habits and developing new ones. So it is super important to make sure that you're following through on the things we're going to talk about here. So, all right. So my whole goal here with opening the boot camp is to, let me see if I can change this thing so you can see the whole thing. I'm not sure what it looks like on the screen here as I record it, but my goal is to help you develop and create the healthy lifestyle, to lose weight, to have energy, to feel good, and just to get the benefits that come from learning how to eat properly along with the exercise. So the whole point of this is to educate you, give you some tools for you to move forward with it. Now, what I can tell you is if you do not take action on the things that I'm going to talk about in here, nothing's going to happen. You have to become a person who does take action and works on developing and creating the things that I'm going to talk about here, because that's one of the things that the Think About It program, it doesn't do anything except just sit in your mind and bug you that you're not taking action, because you know you should be. That's why you're here. We're here to help you change in that way. And you also got to reach out to us if you're struggling. That's what we're here for. Why is it not switching to the next screen? There we go. Okay, so I like to teach, there's 3 different ways of eating that I want you to think about. One is going to be eating for performance, 2, eating for a healthy lifestyle, 3, eating for weight loss. Between these 3, I'd say that they're all very similar in how you actually eat, but there's just small little differences, which I'll get into now. Okay, so why do we eat? We eat because food is fuel. One of the things is in this day and age, we want things that taste good and give us that immediate gratification. But that's not the purpose of food. Like hundreds of years ago, before we had all these things that makes food taste good, it's not supposed to taste like that. And it's one of the problems why everybody's overweight. It comes with the sugar, additives, chemicals, and things that they're putting in it that make us want it more and more and more. But the purpose of food is to fuel our body. So it's to give your body the things it needs to be healthy and strong and live. One of the things as human beings, we just get the satisfaction of eating things and getting the pleasure. So that is a problem when it's like you're having a hard time getting off of eating too much and getting off the sugar in particular, because it actually screwing up hormone levels, which causes you to crave it more and more, makes it harder to quit eating it. Food is also information. So it's information in the way that it's actually going to be giving your body the things that it actually needs. Like you need, there's 2 different things. So you got macronutrients, which are the big, large nutrients, and then you got micronutrients, which are the vitamins and minerals, the smaller, the vitamin A, B's, and sodium and so forth. Those are all the micros. I'd like to teach, I don't teach based in getting into the micros. The macros will give you what you need as far as learning to be healthy. I mean, you can dig further if you want, but I like teaching based on the macros. But you got to make sure you're providing your body the protein so that you can actually build muscle. It plays with the immune system. It has lots of different functions in the body while you need it. You need carbohydrates. It is the main source of energy in the body. And then you need fats, because fats gives you energy as well. It also balances out your hormones and does give you, it'll help with your energy too, but it balances out hormone levels and body temperature regulation. Again, they all have different functions, but you do need them all. So Now, eating for performance. So eating for performance provides your body with the proper macronutrients to perform optimally. So when I first put this together, when I said eating for performance, I was thinking more in line with sports and athletics and runs and preparing for things that you're going to have to perform physically for. Over the last few years, I've really actually this kind of ties in more to healthy lifestyle eating as well. They're kind of very similar, but eating for performance, like you eat so you can perform and get through your day to have a great day. So one of the things like last night, it's like I had a crazy busy day yesterday. Then I had to go to a party and already kind of tired because I had a busy week before. And it was like 6 o'clock last night, a little about 6:15. I'm like leaving the party. I'm like, shoot, I still have to food prep tonight. I haven't gone grocery shopping yet. Shoot over to Trader Joe's, get to Trader Joe's. I actually got in and out pretty quick, got home by 7. And then it was then food prepping till 10, getting all the dishes. So it's about 10:30 by the time I finally get done. And that's one of the things. The reason I do that is because I know that if I prepare my food, I'm going to have a lot more energy, be able to stay focused throughout the week, and I'm going to feel better. So it's like that's my motivation when I'm in that situation at 6 o'clock. I'm tired. I'd rather just go home and relax. But I'm like, no, I need to go home and get my food prep, because there's no way I'm going to go through this week of being tired and sluggish, because I can't stand that and I like feeling good. That is kind of one of the reasons why I personally choose to make sure that I'm food prepping and eating well, because I want the energy that comes from it. So eating for performance, think of it in that way. So it applies to sports as well. So if you want your body to perform better, it's like you got to make sure you're giving it the things that it needs so you can perform. Okay. But the first thing is like you got to give your body the proper nutrients it needs to recover from the workouts. You're tearing your muscle down as you're exercising. Again, the protein is going to help that recover from it. You also need sugar. You got to replenish it's called glycogen, which stores in the muscle to be used for energy later. Those two things are good. That's good for that's actually starting to, I don't know if I said sugar there, but it's like when you eat sugar, you got to replenish that to get back into muscle. And then the third thing is you need fat. The fat's actually going to give you more satiety, so you're actually not as hungry, but it's good for your joints, your health. It will give you some energy as well. It'll actually stabilize blood sugar. There's lots of reasons why you want these things, but you've got to give your body the proper nutrients so you can recover from the workout. For example, like if you work out and you get a great workout and then you don't eat for 2, 3, 4 hours later, you're not giving your body the things it needs to recover. So it's actually going to slow down your recovery process from getting stronger, better, faster, which in turn helps you build more muscle, which in turn, the more muscle you have is what makes your metabolism faster. You want a fast metabolism, you need more muscle. So that's why making sure that your exercise along with eating correctly when you're losing weight is so important. But all these things come in to be important as you're working on losing weight. The second thing, you got to fuel your body for your particular competition, and again, think of your competition as going through your days, like to have a great day. Like your energy is connected to the way you eat, and it's connected to the way you exercise, but into the way you eat, the food you're putting in your body. I'm sure you've had it before, or Thanksgiving, for example, you go eat all this food, and then it's like you're just tired and exhausted after you're done, probably for the next 2 days, because we eat so much at Thanksgiving. But that's the thing. It's like, it is completely connected to the way you eat versus when you eat a lighter meal, how you have that lighter feeling, and then you have more energy to kind of get through your days. Okay. All right. So providing your body the macronutrients to optimally function, like you've got to give yourself the protein, carbs, and fats. Another thing to kind of touch on here is like you want to get your protein, carbs, and fats coming from real food. I took the video down, so I'm not sure if you can see the video there. Just to make sure. So it's like you want real food. I think you can see this video when I'm doing it, but I'm holding an apple right now. Food that grows out of a tree. An apple grows out of a tree. So you want food that comes out of a tree, comes straight from the ground, such as a sweet potato or a potato, something like that, or straight from the animal, meaning that they're taking the meat straight from the animal, not going to a factory, turning it into something that it's not supposed to be. That's clean eating food in its most natural state. That's how you want to get yourself to be eating. So, and super important as well is always know what you're eating, because I feel like a lot of the people that I'm sitting down with don't know what they're putting in your body. If you want full control of your health, you must know what you're putting in your body. And these are just the basics. You don't have to break it down to the micronutrients, just the macros. Know if it's a protein, carb, or fat, or a combination. And then on the list here, you see on the screen here, carbohydrates, rice, potatoes, oats, fruits. You get buckwheat, quinoa, beans, chickpeas, lentils. And some can be a combination. So those are the buckwheat, quinoa, beans, chickpeas, and lentils are also proteins. And then you get the whey protein, soy, pork. Like all animal meats are going to be proteins. You also get some fat in the animal meats as well. For example, salmon, or like even chicken, like if you're eating the darker meats or having the skin with it, you're going to get a lot of the fats in there too. And then you just got your oils, your avocado, olive oils, fish oils, coconut oils, flaxseed butter. But just always know what you're putting in your body. Very, very important in regards to protein, carb, and fats. I'll go over here in a minute. Using MyFitnessPal, because it's a great tool to start figuring that out. And I know it's confusing. And all this might sound overwhelming, and it's the same as anything else. Like first time you're doing something, or as you're beginning to learn something, it's going to be hard and confusing. That's just how life is. As you start to learn something, the more you do it, the easier it gets. And that's why you just keep doing it, and you keep learning it. And you keep learning new things, like watching this video, things that are going to help you to keep learning it as well. And that's what a healthy lifestyle is too. Even outside of the parameters of just eating, like healthy lifestyle is like learn new things for your life that make your life better. I mean, that's what health is. Like keep learning, keep growing, keep getting better. Okay. Healthy lifestyle eating now. So we're talking about healthy lifestyle eating. This is just getting yourself where you're going to be eating food out of the tree, from the ground, straight from the animal in its most natural state. Like you want to be eating good, healthy foods and putting good quality things in your body. Click this video down. So you want whole, fresh, real foods. They're vital for nutrients and for your health. You got to give yourself the nutrients and things that come from the foods that you eat. It's super important. Like you don't know. I saw somebody yesterday, and they're eating some fast food, just burger. I mean. And it's like, what is that? It's not even food. Like, eat food. So it's like, get yourself in the habit of that. 90% of the time, get yourself, and then the 90-10 rule is like 90% of the time you're going to be eating real food, 10% not. As you're losing weight, you should be able to lose weight here if you're doing it right. But if not, it's like you might have to be 95% eating good food, 5%, or it might be 100%. Like everybody's different. 100% is usually always going to be better, obviously, but it's like, again, like lifestyle wise, when you do get into lifestyle, about 90-10 rule, you can bet you're going to be able to maintain, you still have the energy, feel good. You can indulge in things that might not be healthy, alcohol, wine, sugary things, but just know yourself too. Like if you're going to have a piece of cake and it's going to take you off the deep end, and all of a sudden you're going down eating all kinds of cake over and gaining all kinds of weight back, you've got to make a different choice, because you're always going to gain the weight back in that case. You got to keep whole, fresh foods available, like in your home, and get the junk out too. Like that's the thing. It's like out of sight is out of mind. If it's not there, you're not going to be able to eat it. So don't let yourself go to the little markets to get the unhealthy things. But again, like clear out the cupboards, throw everything away. Like change your life in this way. Like your life will get better. It'll be a little hard for a period of time till you adjust to your new way of life, but it's like it'll happen. Lots of veggies. Veggies are where you get most nutrients. So it's eating lots of salads and good healthy things. It's like this is where you get great value. So these are things you should be doing and should be providing your body with these things. Plan your week and food prep. It's like, I mean, that's the thing. Like take out a piece of paper, kind of plan out what you're going to do. Pick 2 or 3 recipes, 4 recipes, cook those on Sundays. Let those be your meals for the next 2, 3, 4 days, even a week, freeze some of them. But it's like plan out your weeks and food prep. Like that's super important. And I've been doing it for a long time, but for really structured, probably about the last 13, 14 years. But even before that, I mean, I was always packing my lunch, trying not to eat out, because the thing is with eating out, even though I might not have been eating the healthier things at that point, it was like the eating out all the time just made me feel like blah. Who wants to feel blah when you can feel great? So again, keep herbs and spices handy for great flavor. It's like learn how to cook. So it's, again, there's just real quick, 3 things that when you're working on creating a healthy lifestyle, it's like, you've got the exercise portion. Like when you're here at the boot camp, just show up to the workouts, get in and get it in. It's like, that's the easy part. Cause all you gotta do, you'll always get a great workout, which does give you energy. It does make you feel good. The nutrition part's a little more challenging because we can't be there. Cause if I was there and I saw you grabbing a piece of cake, I'd probably smack your hand down like, no. But I'm not. This is where you got to build the discipline. And that's a whole other subject, maybe for a video another day. But you got to build discipline. It's like a muscle. The more you stay strict and you don't give in to the temptations, the stronger that muscle gets, the easier it will get over time. But you got to get through it, especially those first 2, 3, 4 times. And you got a lot of areas. I'm talking about a lot of things here, but like our social circle too, it's like there's a lot of areas. Like you've got your own patterns, habits of how you eat. Then you got your patterns, habits that you eat with friends and family, at work. Like I know there's a lot of nurses here, like, and they talk about all the bad, unhealthy food people bring in, which is great from a social standpoint, but it's bad for your health. But this is where you got to be strong and be disciplined and not give in to those things. But they all affect you. And it's like, in those situations, like it might be hard. You're always going to get the, hey, this one time won't hurt, or they're going to say, they're not trying to sabotage, because in their minds they do think that, but you got to be strong and not give in. Have people get upset with you, it's okay. The thing is, eventually, like when you stay strict like this, you start changing, you start putting off that good energy and losing weight and everything else. They're eventually going to want to know what it is, and they'll come on board eventually too. And a lot of times you'll find out who your true friends and that are as well. But this is all part of it in creating the healthy lifestyle. Okay. Weight loss eating. So understand, like I posted up last night of my meal prep. I'm not trying to lose weight right now. I don't know that necessarily you can tell from the pictures, but my portions are really big. Very healthy, all fresh, real food cooked from scratch. I will not lose weight this week because my portions are big. Just because you're eating healthy does not mean you're losing weight. Understand that, because this is probably one of the most common things I hear at the boot camp. If you come up to me, or if I come up and ask you and I'm like, hey, have you lost any weight? And you say no, and I'm like, well, what are you eating? And you pause. I already know you're not following it if you pause. But if you say, yeah, I'm good, I'm eating good, or I'm eating healthy, it's like, that doesn't mean you're going to lose weight. Eating healthy and losing weight, you do have to reduce some calories and create a deficit to lose weight. So understand that part. Just because you're eating healthy doesn't mean you're going to lose weight. I eat healthy all the time and don't lose weight. Now I do triathlons and everything. So it's like, I got 10 more pounds I want to lose getting ready for the triathlon season. So I'm going to be faster because I got some speed goals I want to do in my triathlons. I am going to have to reduce. I'm going to eat the same foods I'm eating, but I'm going to reduce my portion sizes. And most importantly, I'm going to cut out the meals at night, because I have been going home and eating proteins. I haven't been eating processed foods, but I have been eating a lot of proteins and things that definitely will stop me from losing weight. I will reduce those amounts. I'm going to try take about anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks to lose the 10 pounds. About a pound a week is the goal. I lose more than that when I'm trying to get my body to perform at a high level. It'll take away from my performance, so I can't afford to lose more than that. And it gets a little harder in that case, but you don't have to necessarily worry about that, because the key is around a pound to 2 a week is great healthy weight loss, and it's a great way to lose weight. But to lose weight, you do have to create a calorie deficit. It's about 3,500 calories per pound of body fat. So it's like, if you can create a deficit of 500 calories per day, you can lose a pound. Now, I'm not a big fan of calories. I actually think they're annoying, but they're important to know around where you're at, because you can eat 1,500 calories of healthy food, like I'm talking about eating the whole fresh real food, and you can eat 1,500 calories of unhealthy food. You can lose weight with the healthy food, and you could actually gain weight if you're eating 1,500 calories of really sugary food, because your body's going to be storing lots of fat. And our body does get really smart and will hold on when you're not getting enough calories. So it's like that calories are not created equal. So you got to make sure you're also eating the correct kind of calories. Okay, perfect example here. Calories from whole fresh food versus junk food. So it's like, you can see like a big old plate of broccoli over here on the right versus the Muffin over on the left, like a half muffin, it's going to be about the same calories. You're probably looking at 300-400 calories right here. And the thing which is going to have more value for your health in your life. It's like you're going to get way more nutrients, obvious, from the broccoli. And this just allows me to bring up another point, like seeing the size difference. When you actually start eating healthier food, you will see, you're going to see that sometimes it's hard to eat it all because healthy food takes up more space. So it's going to be harder to eat as much food. And that's one of the things. This happens a lot when people are starting to eat healthy and starting to eat their 3 to 5, 6 meals a day of healthy food. It's like, it's too much food. Even though calorie-wise, it's way less than what they're used to eating. That's why eventually get used to that and you'll be okay. So just be aware of that. But all calories are not created equal, okay? So first thing to consider is your basal metabolic rate. You can find these calculations online. There's a few different calculations that you can actually use to figure these out. The calculations right here, so you can do it yourself. I'm not going to go through it. You can see it here and do it. Just find one online. Use MyFitnessPal. It does it for you. Very simple. But what the basal metabolic rate is the amount of calories you need per day to just maintain and be where you're at. They have the basic around 2,000 calories per day to maintain where you're at. You hear that all the time, losing weight. I recommend cutting down to about 15 to 25% of that, and just make sure you're eating the right food. Staying away from sugary food, regardless if you're trying to lose weight. But that's what the basal metabolic rate is. And again, like my recommendations are to cut down to 15 to 25% of less. So you're having less of that. Do not starve yourself to lose weight. Very important. Let me say it again. Do not starve yourself to lose weight. Because when you do starve yourself, you're going to end up losing muscle. It doesn't matter if you're exercising. If you're not providing your body what it needs to be able to build muscle, you cannot build muscle. And then you compromise your body using muscle for energy because you're starving yourself and you're not giving yourself enough food. Very important not to starve yourself. Again, it comes down to getting the protein, carbs, and fats that your body needs. So another super important thing is know the difference between being hungry, starving, craving. And there is a difference. You have to learn them. You may have never paid attention to what this feels like coming from your own body. You have to learn them. You're not going to learn these overnight either. This is just going to come from experience of learning how to eat properly and following the things I'm talking about here. So being hungry, as you're losing weight, you got to be a little hungry because you cannot eat the calories that your body actually needs. You have to reduce and have less. So it's a must. You have to be a little hungry. And I'm going to tell you a story here in a second to make all these make sense. Starving is where you do need to eat. The thing is, like when you're eating one meal per day and you're hardly eating anything, it's like you're going to be starving yourself. You need to eat because your body's telling you it actually needs food. Feels a lot different than hungry. You're going to be getting different signs. When I'm starving personally, I kind of start getting a little lightheaded. Sometimes I get a little shaky and I just get really weak and have a hard time focusing. That's where I know I have to eat. I don't let myself get there very often. Usually it's like I know, and I just got the patterns that I've created to where I'm always kind of eating the right way. Now, cravings, on the other hand, this is where you're usually eating really bad. Generally, this is going to come more from eating lots of sugar. Sugary foods, high carb foods, if you're eating lots of carbs, even if they're healthy carbs, will cause you to crave more where you're hungrier more. When you learn to cut these back, that's where, and don't eat a lot of high carbs, you can control this a lot more. And when you're eating more balanced, you're not going to be getting the cravings too. You don't get rid of these every day. If you've ever started like a really strict eating plan or even a healthy eating plan, you always notice the first few days up to the first couple of weeks are really hard as your body is adjusting and readapting to what you're doing. So so let me tell my story here real quick about just this will make hopefully the being hungry, starving, cravings, you understand them a little bit different. In the last couple of years, and this is where I started learning because I used to just say being hungry and starving, and this is where I realized cravings come into play. But I'm sitting in my office. I had just started, I don't remember what it was, whichever plan, the Whole30, it might have been doing paleo or just macros like I'm talking about here. But I was like, first 2-3 days are always challenging because your body's readjusting. At least for me, it usually takes 2-3 days. So I'm sitting here and I'm following the plan, and I just ate one of my meals. So I'm sitting here, like right after I eat, I open my office door with the teams out here, and I walk out and I go, God, I'm starving. And I was so over dramatic when I do it. And I remember at that moment, I caught myself saying it. And this is something I do all the time because I'm generally I have a pretty big appetite, so I'm generally always wanting to eat. But I caught myself, I'm like, starving? What the heck am I talking about? I was like, I just ate. I literally just ate probably 2 minutes before I walked out there and said it. So I realized when I said it, because I kind of came in and I started thinking about, like, why am I saying I'm starving? Like, for one thing, that's a pattern habit. I nipped that in the butt since. So I don't say I'm starving anymore because I'm not. But I realized that it's cravings. My body was weaning itself off from the high carb, because I can get carried away with potato chips and those type of things when I'm eating bad. And so that's one of the things is like, okay, so what happens is your body's readjusting. Hormone levels, when they're balanced out and you're eating right, your insulin levels aren't being jacked up and coming down all the time. But when you're eating lots of carby foods, that's what happened. Your insulin levels go up. Then the one you need to be aware of is called leptin. It's what controls the signals from your stomach to your brain. Your insulin goes up, your leptin levels go up. You don't get the signals from your stomach to your brain telling you you're no longer hungry. So this is one of the reasons why you will crave sugar when you're eating lots of sugar or carbs in particular, like even the high carbs, flours and those things. You keep craving those things because you're not getting the signal, so you keep eating them. Those things make you gain weight like crazy. So that's the problem when you're eating those things. That's why, but you're not getting the signal. So it's be aware of that and be aware, like, for a week up to 2 weeks. It's generally I don't find too many people up to 2 weeks, but I generally find like after the first week, your body will start adjusting and getting used to it. But just be aware of that. And hopefully that helps you understand the difference between being hungry, starving, and craving. You want to eat about 5 to 6 small meals every 2-3 hours throughout the day is a general rule of thumb as well. Okay. Drinking water instead of sugary drinks. Water is also going to fill your stomach, but staying hydrated helps balance out your levels from retaining water too. Salt will make you retain water. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but it's like you don't eat excessive amounts of salt. Eating out, we get so much salt in our food, it's ridiculous. You can probably get 2, 3, 4 days worth of salt, like eating out. Sugary drinks are the worst. So the thing is you're drinking like sodas, juice, orange juice. Even if you go get the oranges yourselves and they're the organic, best oranges you can find, all sugar, not good for you. It's going to screw up your blood sugar levels along with all your hormone levels. So the thing is, it's not healthy to do. And if you do happen to do it, understand the amount matters that you do as well. So, like, for instance, let's say if you a 16-ounce glass of orange juice versus an 8-ounce glass of orange juice. Your blood sugar is not going to go up as high with an 8-ounce versus the 16-ounce. It's still jump, but it's like less is better if you do it. If you're trying to lose weight, stay away from the sugary stuff because it's going to destroy your weight loss and screw everything up. For your life in general, it's like, just stay away from the sugary stuff. Like, try to get yourself to where you're just eating more of the whole fresh foods. It's going to be better for your health and everything else, and it's just better for you. Just work on doing that. Water, just really quick with water, like following and drinking lots of water. I know it's challenging. This was back when I was in Ohio way before 20 years ago or so, probably longer than that, when there was a guy in the gym who looked awesome, who was really built and looked good, how I wanted to look at that point in time. And I was always asking him advice on what he was doing. And he told me to drink lots of water. He's like, drink a gallon a day. So I remember at that point in time, I'm like, heck, if he's drinking a gallon, I'm going to drink 2 gallons because that's going to be better. And that's not healthy. And that's what I was doing, just destroying my electrolytes, which I wasn't aware of anything nutritional at that point in time. But I do recall when I was like, and I'm stubborn. Like if those are things, I was super focused on what I wanted to create at that time, looking good, exercises. I was lifting weights all the time. But I do remember going from, because I was actually delivering ice at the time and in water, but I was delivering ice at this particular time, and I do remember the challenge of starting to drink water versus I drink Gatorades all the time. I did drink water too, but it was mostly Gatorade. But I just remember trying to get the water down and having like that reflex where it's just like, it's just hard to get down. You get over that. So it's like, those are things you do get over. You just got to work through it. And eventually you get to where it's like, I will drink Gatorade if I go on a really long bike ride. And I always dilute it with half water because I can't even stand how sugary it is. But my body absorbs all that sugar and everything into my muscle after those long bike rides anyway. But that's the only time I do it now, and I can't even imagine doing it. Tricks to making the water taste good. You can see like the mint and lemon, like those are little tricks where you to just give it a little more flavor. That is completely okay. All right. Don't forget your macros. So these are the ranges, and this is going to tie into MyFitnessPal. I think the next one talks about the MyFitnessPal, but your proteins this is just more healthy lifestyle based, should be between 10 and 35%. Your carbohydrates, 45 to 65%. Your fats are 20 to 35%. So just understand, like, these are the ranges you should be in. Now, if you're doing 10% protein, 65% carbohydrates, and 25% fats, you're probably not going to lose weight in those ranges, even if your calories low, because the carbohydrates are what you need to control. So keep them down to 45%. And I mean, honestly, you can probably drop them down lower than that and just up your protein and fat. 35% is plenty of protein, but you can have more fat. Carbs are the problem, not the fat. They demonize fat so much over the last years. Like, a lot of people are afraid to eat fat. I was one of them. So I started learning that fat is not bad. It's learning to control the carbohydrates, because that's how you really get to understand your energy and balance out your energy. But ranges I would recommend, and a lot of bodybuilders use these ranges, are around 33% down the board, around the ranges you could be as far as losing weight, being in your right calorie ranges, and eating the 3 foods. So again, let me say that again. So trying to get them around 33% each, so they're all about even, being in your calorie ranges. Like, your MyFitnessPal will calculate them for you, and your fats. Side note, I don't think I have that in here in the presentation here. When you exercise, you have to enter in your extra calories you're going to need. You need to eat more based on that basal metabolic rate, because when you exercise, you don't create a calorie deficit with the exercise. You create a calorie deficit based on your basal metabolic rate. When you exercise, you got to give your body those extra calories to recover from the workout. I talked about that earlier. Super important. So make sure you're doing that and giving your body the things it needs after the workouts. But you got to up your calories. And so in MyFitnessPal, which I do recommend, it's a great app. The free one works fine. You don't need to buy the premium version. It will calculate your macros for you. Enter your exercise, because it will add to your calories for that day. If you are exercising at night, just make sure you're thinking ahead and calculating those extra calories you're going to need after your workouts. Okay. All right. That goes into, again, the MyFitnessPal. This is a great tool, again, for many, many reasons. Like, we eat very subconsciously where we don't think about it. One of the things with me, like, I always have nuts on my desk. Like, it's one of my little snacks that I do. Some days I usually have a big container of them. If I'm really focused working, and there's some days I'll open them up, don't even realize I opened them up, and I'll eat the whole thing. It's probably 3,000-4,000 worth of calories, 3,000 to 4,000 calories in one of my containers that I have, which might even be more than that. But I just remember one day I was like, I didn't realize I was eating them, and I'm like, So a lot of days, like, if I need, because I can still do that. I usually don't eat the whole thing. That was just one day, but I will set them on the other side of the room, so I can't do that. We have habits in our house like that too. Using MyFitnessPal, never eat anything till you enter it into the MyFitnessPal. It's a great trick to make yourself aware of what you're eating, and then not eat the things that you don't, because then it's going to make you question too. If you think about it before you eat it, like, oh, should I eat that? enter everything too. You got to be honest with yourself into the MyFitnessPal. Journaling is so important for helping you become aware so you can create the changes. MyFitnessPal is great. Any of the apps that are going to give you the macros and then the calories work fine. It doesn't have to be MyFitnessPal. I just like it. It's the one I've always used. Okay. Weight loss is a mindset. So, and this is exercise too, because exercise is going to help you create this mindset. Make a few changes at a time and master them. And that's the thing. So if you're just coming into boot camp and you're seeing this video, or like you're struggling with the exercise and nutrition together, focus on one at a time. It's fine. You just put your energy into focusing on the exercise, and then a month, 2, 3 months later, when you're ready, you'll know when you're ready, you're going to start putting the energy into the nutrition, because like after a few months of exercise, for example, you're going to be if you've been consistent, you're going to be accustomed to doing them. That's easier, not as much of a challenge. Doing a lot of things sometimes makes it challenging. I know when we do our 6-week challenges, we're asking for everything. We want the nutrition, we want the exercise, and we want you cooking. We want you doing everything, but that's why you sign up for them. We're here to get results. Celebrate the milestones. This is super important. Like, you have to celebrate the milestones. Don't celebrate with food and sugary foods, especially, because that's not, I know people really like those things, but it's like, it's reinforcing a bad habit. So don't reinforce with sugary things, but do celebrate your successes. You do a foot push-up for the first time. That's a big deal. Like, share it with us too. We like hearing about it. But those are big deals. Like, you go out with your friends and you don't give in to the drinks or the eating bad. That's a big deal. There's an enormous milestone. Celebrate them, and you just keep getting better. So make sure you celebrate. Prepare mentally. Always try to, preparation is key. Like, making sure you know and like what's going to be happening ahead of time so you can be prepared. If you know you're going to be going out to eat, okay, eat a meal before you go, for example. Or look up the restaurant menu, know what you're going to eat before you get there. Don't be hungry before you go. Drink a big glass of water. Like, find little tricks, but always prepare mentally so you're ready. That way you're not thrown into a situation where it's like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And then you might make a bad decision. Silence the naysayers, even yourself, with consistency and results. You stay focused, you're going to get the results. That little ridiculous voice we all have in our head is there. I wish I could control mine as much as I could help you guys control yours. Just be aware of it. Be strong. You can make the changes. Work as hard at eating healthy as you do here at the gym, because I know when you guys are here and you're putting in the effort. And I use you guys all the time. Like, I just, some of the people here that I see, like, overweight, coming in just struggling and just getting through the workouts, man. I use that so much when I'm struggling. Like, you guys motivate me for sure. But yes, just keep working hard, stay focused, never give up. You just keep moving forward. Okay. And you got to work out with all these awesome people here at the boot camp always. That's all I got for the nutrition. If you guys need a plan, reach out. We'll get you a 30-day plan. If you need to sit down for an assessment with Zach, Lorraine, or Ingrid, we will also get that set up. But I want you guys to be healthy. I want you to be focused. I want you guys to create the healthy life you deserve for you, for your family, so you can be there for a long time. You can have the energy to enjoy all the things you need to be enjoying and getting out of life, because we all deserve that. But yes, anyway, if you guys need anything, definitely reach out. And I am done here. And I think I got the video. It doesn't show the video on my screen, but we're done. So I will see you guys soon. I don't know how to stop this. Okay, stop. Okay. Bye.